Folks, welcome in for a hump day edition of Trainwreck today. USA falls just short in the World Baseball Classic. The NFL continues to waddle through free agency as we get ready for the draft and more. And UPL goes to Vegas and shows Sin City that he is him. Let's go.
We all need a place where we can be ourselves, somewhere you can leave all your worries on the shelf, and whether you win or lose, you can count on me, and I can count on you. You know this train never stops. 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 You know this train never stops.
Folks, welcome in. Another delightful day here at Hilbert College. Trainwreck today, 83 coming at you. Heard of Buffalo, Trainwreck Sports. We got Slick Al on my left. We got Don on the ones and twos. We got Alec in the saddle with us. And we got Gatesy coming in on the remote feed because we couldn't put our remotes down last night with the Buffalo Gut Hockey Sabres finding a way to get a win in Sin City, Gatesy, and it wasn't easy. We kind of had to stoop to the Golden Knights level on this one.
Casey, I can't unmute you. You gotta.
Yeah, no, it's like my first time on the show. Tough one there after only a few hours of sleep after a late Sabres game. And the fans went to bed because it was a 10 p.m. puck drop. You didn't miss too much. The Sabres scored 2 goals, one from behind the goal and one with an empty net. So it wasn't a riveting, high-scoring affair, but it was a gutsy win and a win that shows that they can do it kind of anyway.
I mean, the thing that's sticking on most fans' minds waking up this morning, I think, is just looking at the standings and seeing there's no real games in hand situation. There's no, asterisk next to it. The Sabres are first place in the East, obviously tied with Carolina, who plays tonight. But Gatesy, I mean, they say it's, harder to keep the throne than it is to get it. Do you anticipate that for the Sabres squad?
I mean, a bit, because this is just so out of left field of what we thought the ceiling could be on this team that, I mean, the fact they're here, it's like, okay, now they're not chasing anyone anymore. It's not, they're the underdogs. They're getting, team's best every single night. When we talk about the Buffalo Bandits, for example, Maniac, it's always, they're the team that everyone's going towards. They're going to get the best from everyone every single night. It feels like that's the direction we're going with the Buffalo Sabres, where especially when you look at the Eastern Conference, there's a lot of teams kind of in that mix of, are they going to be a wild card team? The gap between the wild card and just an Atlantic spot's very close too. So there's going to be a lot of teams trying to get just a couple spots, and each night's really going to be, I think, a tough one for Buffalo.
First in the East, but also 10 points ahead of being out of the playoffs. So definitely no rest for the weary, no time to take the foot off the pedal. And that's the case with our friend UPL. Going into Vegas last night, it was only, what am I looking at right now? About 10 days ago that UPL finds a way to allow 7 into the back of the net, whether those were his fault, sloppy game, or a complete disaster, you could argue. Since then, Gatesy had a strong performance against Washington, and then this might be one of my hottest takes of all time. Best game of his career in Las Vegas. I'm looking at some of the saves last night, and especially the stop on Eichel with just over a minute to go. I mean, I think there's an argument to be made.
Yeah, I think you look at that game, and it's just a UPL outing where he does what he has to do. Everyone's biggest complaint, or one of the many complaints people have about Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, is he doesn't have the timely saves. He had them last night. You look at just the basic box scores from the game, like it looks pretty close, but I mean, Vegas was really dominating this game, especially with, actual high danger scoring chances. UPL showed up big. If he doesn't play like how he did last night, the Sabres have a loss. It's a wash of a game, and you don't think much, but he stole these 2 points for the Sabres. And I mean, Slick, I don't know if you remember seeing just all the comments after the Lightning game, but just seeing all of the hate for his next start, for, getting into tonight. People are like, UPL should never play a game, but right now he feels like on top of the world right now. For Sabres fans.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought it up, Gatesy, because obviously we had this discussion on our last show on Monday too, where who are more confident in a playoff start. We're getting a lot of flack, Maniac and I, for saying we're more confident in UPL. Everyone's reminding of us how shaky he is. Third period, it comes, even if you have a good lead, the other team's got a good chance to get back in it because he just doesn't have the timely saves. As you were saying, that's all I could think about last night, especially when the first period ended and he was locked in from the puck drop and we ended in a 1-0 first period. I was like, okay, this might be one of those games where we're going to be up a couple goals, and Ukko's got to prove if he can keep us in the game and keep us up those couple goals. He did it last night, stood on his head, and really shut up all the haters. I'm really proud of him.
Do you guys see the image or the video of, like, they did a close-up on UPL in, like, the final couple minutes of the game, and his eyes were just, like, I thought they were going to pop out of his head with how just dialed in he is. Like, I've never seen UPL just be a freak like that, and it's it's perfect timing for the Sabres.
There was the one save he had early in the first period last night where he didn't even, like, go down to butterfly position to grab this puck. He went down on one knee, like just stepped out of the crease, went down on one knee and slid out while the play was still approaching the net. I was like, dude, this guy's dialed tonight. I don't know what it was, but hell of a game from Ukko for sure.
Yeah, With that said, obviously, a couple notes here from the game. I would think we would be remiss, like, just because everything's going well, we're putting wins in the win column. Best road stretch in franchise history. I think they said 10-0-1, 11-game road point streak. This, am I right to be worried about the scoring a little? Am I right to be a little nervous about the scoring in the last 3 games? I mean, with the Washington game, it was kind of, tough to come by. With the Vegas game last night, it was tough to come by. With the Toronto game, yeah, we got a couple, but I don't know, like, it's only a 3-game sample, but it feels like the offense after that Tampa Bay game, or Tampa Bay and then San Jose, kind of fell off the cliff a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, if it was a team more like the Leafs or the Capitals, I would be worried. But the thing about this Vegas team is they've kind of flipped their identity on their head. And from a few years ago, back when they had like Marchessault and a lot of those guys, they were this high-scoring offense, more similar to the Oilers, didn't rely on their goaltending. They've kind of flipped their game into playing kind of more like the Hurricanes in the same amount of talent, where they just aim to slow you down and play their game. And they're a good team. Now, yeah, like if I look at it, the Doan goal, I mean, that was just a bad giveaway. So I'll say, like, there's in terms of like the score ends 2-0, but in my mind, it's almost 1-0 if we're thinking like actual deserved NHL goals. But like, hey, good teams find a way to win. I'm not as concerned. I was more concerned after like the Leafs game, honestly. This I kind of expected. Vegas has been playing games like this all year, where they drag teams down. They try to get them into overtime. I think they're like in the top 3 of most overtime games, and certainly have some of the most overtime losses. They're a defensive team, and the only concern is that they got us to play their game, which is not what you want going into the playoffs.
I agree. Playoffs obviously got to be physical. Speaking on the offensive line, I didn't throw this bullet point here, but I'm interested. Are the boys being too fancy on odd man rushes? Seems to be we're generating a number of them per game with good passing and good zone exits, I would say, more than anything based on my limited knowledge, but curious what you guys think. A little too fancy feast on these?
Yeah, I don't even know if they're trying to be too fancy. I think these guys just play so well together and are so unselfish that sometimes, like, they're thinking about their teammates in the next play instead of just the smart hockey play. It seems to be a recurring theme. There's been some at home Don and I have mentioned when we've been sitting together in his seasons or on the TV for road games, where I feel like you just have a prime opportunity with the puck on your tape in the slot. That's prime opportunity for a shot on net, and instead your guy might be open, but you're risking puck possession to go and make that extra play. And you see it. You've seen it a lot from the younger guys. I don't know if
now
it's
that
just
you're queuing it up. I do remember a McLeod play specifically where he was on a 2-on-1. And then he kind of went to the center.
I know what you're
ice,
talking about, yeah.
And the defender went with the other guy. So McLeod almost had like a breakaway. He almost had a mini breakaway, and he still passed it. Like there's a little bit of that going on.
Which, by the way,
sure.
is exactly what you're supposed to do as a defender in the 2-on-1 situation. He took the pass when McLeod moves middle. McLeod needs to read that, obviously. But it's not just McLeod. I shouldn't harp on his name, but I think it's just the young guns getting excited with this momentum that they haven't seen from this city in probably their whole lives, and they're enjoying the ride. They're just looking to make another play that's not necessary sometimes. Gatesy, I'm curious your thoughts if you're seeing the same thing.
Yeah, I think I tweeted it. Like, I was just so frustrated with the amount of like 2-on-1s they had. They just tried to make that pass through. But I mean, it's almost a champagne problem with how loose and how, fun this team is feeling, how they're playing. Like, I'm okay with them trying a little bit, but I mean, in a stretch, I think Zach, you brought up of just, their inability to score, especially 5-on-5. It is slightly concerning, especially when you're missing Alex Tuck last night. I mean, it feels like the Sabres do struggle when 8-9's out of the lineup. And I mean, it's just another game where Alex Tuck agent just, gets another, feather in his cap of, it's going to be a fun off season because, he only scored 1 goal 5-on-5 last night. It wasn't on Tage's line. It feels like even 72 was in a slump when Tuck's not out there. So it's slightly concerning for me, but the part that's not is the Sabres team. Somehow, some way, they just keep finding ways to win. And the best thing is it's almost a different way every single night.
Absolutely. They're doing it the right way for sure, which is why their success has been that much more exciting. Speaking of doing it the right way, Benson gets knocked, a little bit of a late hit. We got some Golden Knights faithful coming online saying no, it was just after the play. Gatesy, curious of what you saw there. And obviously, I think it goes without saying, the response from the team, what was your feeling on all that?
Yeah, I mean, first, it's expected that the Sabres just hop in right away at this point. Like that feels like a set in stone thing. But to the extent and the speed that Ostlund and Thompson were in there, like their gloves were off, like grabbing a guy. It felt like before Benson's body was even just like laying down on the ice. So that's a good thing to see him step in. That hit was, late in my opinion, but especially because it's a defensive player coming across the ice. The shots happen. The goalie's made the save. Hill has covered the puck before Benson's even been hit. Like Braden McNabb, his loyalty to the crest is out the window. He is no longer a part of what, the Sabres history has been because, I mean, Benson gets the shot off and he still skates into him. He had, in my opinion, plenty of time to turn away from a player coming up the ice, eyes to the net, not looking where it's going because he just shot the puck. It's not like a hit on the boards, a second later. It's a dangerous hit. Benson was thankfully okay. He played the rest of the game. He skated off the ice, looked like he was grabbing his wrist again, which was scary, but, the Sabres were able to survive. And one thing I am happy about too was, in my mind, I was like, I just want Logan Stanley to like do something here and just like beat his face in. But I'm glad he didn't because it was so late in the game. If the Sabres go on the penalty kill there, that could be one that costs them a goal, costs them a point, maybe even two. And I would much rather have the Sabres get that win, be tied for the first in the East than, try to prove how tough they are in a moment and, just go out and win a game.
I think the response was perfect, and I think that's why the refs didn't call a penalty on the Sabres. The Sabres came in, roughed them up a little bit, said that wasn't okay, clearly what you just did, but then focused on the Benson of it all. I think in years past, they wouldn't have done anything at all because they would have been like 1-0 game. We want to keep it tight. We want to make sure we're not getting a silly penalty in that situation. We want to make sure we get the win. I think they responded, and that helped them finish through for the W.
Yeah, and you got our guy Nathan Quitter saying in the chat, Lindy called that hit familiar, a la Chris Neal. I felt that way too. I saw that quote from Lindy.
I was wondering what he was referencing with the familiar.
Well, yeah, if you look at it on the jury, it's the same thing. He's coming across towards the middle of the ice to
right
get
to left
to get a shot.
Yeah, after a shot.
And it's not like it's slightly late, but it's not just late. It's kind of targeting the head area.
It's late and it's dirty.
I think there's some wings up there too. I don't think his wings were totally tucked. I think there's a follow through upwards with it. And again, it looks like his head area concussion is fine, and it was really more of a wrist thing. But again, a dirty hit, and we don't want to see anyone getting injured. We're going to need everyone we got. Speaking of which, Nathan Quitter also Tuck should be expecting the bag this year. I mean, I'm feeling the same way. We just got to make sure our guy gets back up in the lineup because we're certainly missing him.
Yeah, I mean, a good point by you, Gatesy. He's almost earned the money more seeing how this lineup looks without him in it, for sure. Interesting to see. I know we retooled the lines, 2 games ago or so, putting Ostlund up there with Tage. I would be interested to see if we can go back to the Benson Tuck Tage combo when they come back, because that seemed to be the line that was cooking the most. I don't know your thoughts on that.
Yeah, it's weird because when Tuck's been in, they almost moved Benson down to that fourth line. But, I mean, it's weird because the Sabres lines are kind of fluid throughout the game where you will see Benson hop up on that first unit at times. But, yeah, I mean, we look back to even the preseason. It was, Benson next to Tage, and it was whether it was, Josh Norris, has his home now on that third line, or, Alex Tuck. It would be nice to see that, especially with Tage Thompson. He was on the hottest hand after the Olympics. He was on that, the longest goal point streak in quite some time. And now it's, come back down to earth just a little bit. Would like to see him, with that Benson again, when Tuck's back, get him back up there, just because I think it's hard for 72 to carry a line with 2 younger guys of a Benson and Ostlund. As much as they, try to pull their weight, it is a different animal than playing with, an Alex Tuck or, when he's with Josh Norris. So, yeah, I mean, if the Sabres are struggling to score, like you're kind of seeing at times, you're going to need Tage Thompson to take over games and get a couple for you.
Absolutely. So great to see him put it in the win column last night. Late Sabres after dark for sure. UPL with a great performance at the top of the Eastern Conference. Like we said, Carolina plays tonight. But a lot on the mind of Buffalo fans, Gatesy, were some comments from a Chris Pronger regarding your guy, Owen Power. So I'm curious what you think of those comments and where they land you. And then, Don, I want to usher you in for a follow-up after that.
Yeah, if someone were just to like paste those words on like a billboard, just have them up there, I'd be like, oh, that's kind of like a hit or miss quote. Like, I think it's fair, but having it come Pronger, like arguably one of the like toughest, nastiest, hard-hitting defensemen, maybe of all time, at least, you know, my generation growing up, I think says a lot about it. I mean, I think we can all agree Owen Power, the player he is now, no matter what side of the aisle you are on number 25, his game right now is better than where it was at the start of the season. We talked about, you know, how long it takes NHL defensemen to find their game. We've seen it in Buffalo, whether that be Rasmus Dahlin, Matthias Samuelsson this year. It takes time. I think we're seeing that right now with Owen Power. And I think Chris Pronger's quote kind of summarizes it well, in my opinion, of, you know, he's making strides. We're seeing improvements there, but he still has areas to improve, whether that be net front stuff, whether that just be his overall aggression. I think no matter what, we can all kind of be on the same page of that for OP, but having that praise just, I feel like out of the blue a bit. I get the Sabres are hot, they're the team to talk about, but Chris Pronger saying that about Owen Power, I think is a win for Sabres fans to get that kind of a recognition for OP. But what, Don, where are you at with this?
I mean, I think this, I'm showing the quote for everyone right now. And I want to give credit to the Missing Curfew guys, because this was on their podcast that this quote was said. You know, they came in tailgated.
Missing Curf.
Yeah, tailgated hard with us during Bill's season. Hope to see them back next year. But it's like I've said it before so many times, sports fans, we want to be correct in our takes. So this is like the ink block test. What do you see? So if you're a defender of Owen Powers the whole time, you say, see, Chris Pronger says he's skilled, he's talented, he deserves to be back out there. We're right. And then all the people that have been criticizing him says, see, Chris Pronger says his only drawback is he doesn't play mean enough, he doesn't play tough enough and physical enough in front of the net and on the ice. So we're right. So it's literally, I mean, that is the divide.
Perfectly, though.
The perfect quote.
Between the haters and the OP defenders, I think both sides agree that they would like to see him use his size better. Does both sides agree with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. So let's just start with that as a common ground. Let's not worry about the OP bad, OP good of it all. Let's just focus on him doing that for the playoffs. No better time than the present to start using that physicality.
Yeah. As the most outspoken one on the show, I do want to just get this on there for the record. I thought Owen Power played a phenomenal game last night. Through and through.
Okay.
All points around.
He's been hot, Gates. He's been posting the stats. You know, he had the first goal against the Leafs, right? I think.
Yeah, him and Jack Quinn were the goal scorers there.
Yeah. And I think, you know, we always talk about hot takes. Having a fair and balanced take around Owen Power right now that what Chris Pronger said might be the hottest take of them all. You know what I mean?
It could be. It's got a lot of people
instead
up in
of being
flames.
divisive of being like get him off the ice, he doesn't belong there. I exactly like he says, and I'm not giving up on the kid. I've made it clear this season. I just want him to play a little tougher, a little meaner in front of the net, and that's going to be in the playoffs. And here's my point to that: we all constantly, you're going to see it a million times as we play the playoffs this year. The famous hit in 05-06 with Brian Campbell. Was Brian Campbell the big goon of the Buffalo Sabres during those years?
No.
No, he was their top offensive defenseman.
I don't even know if we had a defensive goon, low-key.
Well, you had like...
On that era.
Newman and McKee and Tallinder were like our guys that were like stay at home.
Yes.
Like,
Newman and,
clear the front of the net.
McKee was probably like closest thing.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, McKee
wasn't a big guy.
McKee was old school where you'd wrap the stick around, pin him against the boards, block shots in front of the net, trap people in the corner. But anyway, the point is Brian Campbell, I think our top scoring defenseman, our most offensive defenseman, makes a hit like that, and that just goes to show playoffs come around. That's what we need. And now we're still talking about it years later. So if Owen Power,
Can you imagine if Owen Power does that?
yeah,
Like I think Buffalo would burn down if he just.
If he does that, I'll buy like every jersey the team wears this season.
Owen Power doesn't even know how to
the
pinch
blue
in that
and
moment.
the white. Yeah, well, see, there you go.
Hate to say
you
it.
never
Yeah,
know.
I mean,
well,
like,
that's my
it's-
point.
but
No
that's the
one
thing,
saw
too.
that coming
That's
from
the-
Brian Campbell.
I
No one saw
agree.
that
But
coming.
you don't. But like,
agree.
it's not even like that's a different style of hockey too. Like, there's not a bunch of open ice hits like that anymore. And that's not even what I'm asking out of Owen Power necessarily. Just use your body to box out of the crease. Don't puck watch and go and like put some hands on a dude when he's in front of the net. That's all I'm asking.
I have a question for you, Slick. Though,
Yeah, let's hear it.
what if the hot streak continues? He's continuing putting up incredible offensive numbers, but once every 3 games, maybe he doesn't take the body and it results in a goal.
So that's my whole argument against these people that are like, well, look at this stat sheet. Bro, you're a defenseman. You're supposed to defend your goalie and the net. And that's what he does seemingly the worst. For every stat on the stat sheet, I could pull up a clip where he looks like a complete dumbass in front of the net. Isn't even aware there's a second guy or is puck watching him from the beginning of the play. So that's my whole argument. Once every 3 games, it seems like we're putting up with that already. So I don't know. I want to see some improvement out of the guy and some
How
physicality.
did we go from we're going to use the physicality to now you're back railing on him?
I said he played a great game last night.
Okay, there you go. Let's start with that and let's move forward. Speaking of moving forward, we were talking about the standings, Gatesy. Would be crazy not to give a peek at the points pace. Brought to our friend Sabermetrics point this out. Virtually 1 game behind the 06-07 and 05-06 pace. How far we've come, Gatesy? How far we've come?
Doesn't make any. I mean, if you showed this picture to I think anyone in Buffalo in the beginning of December, it like that'd been the most fake image you could have ever possibly imagined.
Say
so the fact that the Sabres are on this pace with how they started the year is, I mean, it doesn't come close to the realm of possibility of being true. But I mean, that just goes to show the run they've been on, since December has just been to that other level of that they're matching or almost matching, these 06, 07, 05, 06 teams.
Yeah, and if you remember 06-07, I mean, we won the President's Trophy too.
Yeah.
So like that's I mean that's
The
not
ironic thing.
that's not there's zero chance of that with the way the West is shaping out because that's like a feast and famine situation. That's not nearly as close as the East. But I said it. What was it last week on or maybe 2 weeks? What I'm getting all jumbled with how many shows we do. When did we do Sports City? On a Wednesday. Is that
last Wednesday?
Yeah, last
week.
This
Yeah.
last 2 weeks, just to be clear, this last 2 weeks has been insane.
And it's not slowing down.
But last
at all.
Wednesday, Gatesy brought up the question, do you think they could win the Atlantic? I said they do win the Atlantic, I'm predicting. And I said, I think they have a real shot at the East, and it's going to come down to the last 4 games. And so here we are, totally within that possibility. Only a week later when I think we were down 4 points at the time. So,
yeah, I mean, well, they're just
I have a little thought that popped in my head when Don talked about the Presidents. Not that this is in the realm of possibility, but at the Olympic break, the Sabres were 8 points back of the Tampa Bay Lightning to be in first place in the Atlantic. The Sabres right now are only 7 points back of the Colorado Avalanche with more games to play in this final, stretch for the Sabres than, so far in this post-Olympic stretch. So it's out of the realm of possibility. It's not, one of my thoughts right now, but it is something that we've seen crazier things this season where, they're only 7 points back with a game in hand of the Colorado Avalanche. If they stumble just a little bit in this final stretch, like the Sabres could kind of push towards, they could hypothetically be, in a President's competition of in the last couple of weeks of, they're only a couple points back. So, I mean, this team has done unthinkable thing after unthinkable thing after unthinkable thing this season. It would only be, just the perfect ending of it to have a President's conversation come April. So just something to look toward.
if they actually win the President's Trophy, I welcome freezing cold takes to clip me just saying there's no way that's happening.
Yeah,
because
that'd be the best case scenario. That's a win.
that's because that's my take. But freezing cold takes, you can clip it if I'm wrong.
I love that. But hey, speaking of a good ending, thank you, Gatesy, for popping on with us. Trainwreck today. Make sure you follow him, Gatesy35, Crossing Swords Podcast, over approaching 9,000 followers on Instagram and just about the same number on Twitter. So make sure you give him a follow and hop along for the ride. This warpath ain't stopping, Gatesy.
Thanks, guys. Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go
Cheers.
have a good day now, Gatesy. With that said, yesterday was it the Sabres weren't the only action. We had the Buffalo bracket getting underway. So let's get to the forecast, sponsored by our friends at William Matar Law Offices. So we are looking at.
Wait, hold on. We have some breaking news.
Oh, are you kidding?
Yep, breaking news.
It's ugly.
Just
I'm telling you, you guys saw me freaking out in the pre-show. You're like, no big deal. I'm like, no, the
those
graphics
two
are going to get ruined.
conundrums are like two different things.
Here we go.
I don't know. It's weird.
Borderland Music Festival, the polls just closed about 15-30 minutes ago. They are moving on to the Southtown 16 seed, where they'll be facing. Do you know who? Anyone want to guess?
It's not Sabres Twitter. It's local breweries.
Is it Josh Allen's baby?
It is local breweries. Now, this is a nuts matchup because who is one of the biggest sponsors of Borderland, who the festival is named after, their famous IPA?
42 North.
42 North.
Well, that's a dilemma.
Located in East Aurora as well, just like the festival. Wow. So
I had people messaging me. They're like, how am I supposed to pick between A and B? All I can message them back is, this isn't even like the 64 yet. Like, this is they're like, how am I supposed to pick between?
You're stressing now.
Mira and Hope Toads. How am I supposed to pick between, Lady Links of Buffalo and Water Buffalo Cup? Yeah, if you think it's tough now, wait for a round of 32. Wait for a round of 16. That is exactly the amazingness. That is the magic of the Buffalo bracket. So we're getting into it as we have the original the matchups for the round of 64 down are on deck for tomorrow, correct?
Yes, all of tomorrow's are on deck. And let me just also plug, right after this show ends, we're going to get Howard Picks the Bills versus Store. 716 is our last play-in first four game. So, yeah, keep your eyes out. That'll be launching right around 1 o'clock. And, again, it's on all platforms, X, Facebook, Insta. You can vote all 3 times if you got an account on all 3. But
I was hearing from the committee, we have record turnout so far based on the first 4 matchups. Now, obviously, we are on a couple more platforms than last year, but that's exciting to see.
Very exciting to see. And one of the biggest things is, bringing Instagram into the feed. We've had some big numbers, a lot of voting on Instagram. Same with Facebook, but Instagram has really taken things by storm, which is great to see. But
getting back to our core here now, William Matar, we got the forecast here. We're looking for 4 upsets in the Buffalo bracket. I think there will be plenty. I think there will be more upsets this year in the Buffalo bracket than the main NCAA big dance.
I agree. Yeah.
With that said, my first upset pick, 10 seed by Abigail Lee, sends home Sponge Candy as a 7.
See, and that's what I mean. Like, there's some fishy seeding according to many this year in the Buffalo bracket. That could be one of
those 10-7s where by Abigail Lee is like a 1.5 point favorite.
Exactly. No, for sure.
So maybe that's not an upset.
No, yeah, the committee sees one thing that the Lions don't necessarily. I'm kind of right there on a seeding with my first upset. It's a 9-8 matchup. I know it's not the biggest upset, but I think BB's Bingo is going to throttle the City of Good Neighbors. Why? Because, of course, we're the City of Good Neighbors. It's a saying. It just goes with everyday life. BB's Bingo doesn't come around every day, Maniac. That's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that you get every couple weekends, and it's a party for the ages. I think that 9-8 is going to be more like a 116, Don.
I might have to trademark that phrase from you. A once-in-a-life experience you get every couple weekends.
That's okay. So I have a really spicy one, and then I've one. I won't count this one, but there's rumors that a 13-4 or a 3-14 matchup might be already in the books.
Yeah, I saw you lamenting this yesterday.
Yeah. So we have in the 3 spot 26 shirts, facing new Highmark Stadium.
Oh, yeah.
26 shirts kind of tipped their cap and bowed out in a way. Via tweet says, we've been waiting for years to be a part of this, and we draw the new Highmark Stadium. Well, we'll see you next year. They said.
I don't think they're kicking it in. Like this because to me, this isn't a brother Bill when he was saying, no, go vote for the other option. Like they're just saying, like, oh, we're running into a buzzsaw. Like there's no way.
Okay, I'm hoping that.
I think this can get them the sympathy. No, I want to support the little guy.
It's just rare that you see a number 3 seed feel like the David and the David versus Goliath.
I sure as
story.
hell hope that this can will them to a victory because, guys, I think that like the number one way to not get invited into the Buffalo bracket in 2027 is to concede in the round of 64 as a 3 seed. Love you, 26 shirts. Not a great look. I hope you were kind of sarcastic with that one.
So I had to address that, but that won't be my pick because I'm going to let things shake out, and I don't want to influence it anyway. Now, my underdog pick is you guys are going to be real upset with this.
Uh-oh.
You're going to be real upset.
Uh-oh.
It's a 16 seed. Cup and char pepperoni over Bandits 3-peat.
No, you're busted.
I think people love their pizza here.
I can literally hear the Banditland faithful coming over the pasture like ancient army.
Are they going to put me in the box?
Dude,
the box?
We might have knocks on the door. We might have like
literally you are Jaime Lannister in Game of Thrones while Banditland is coming in with the Daenerys Targaryen army. You're in trouble.
This cup and char at 16 is crazy, and I think it's going to get the people hyped up. We got a lot of pizzerias that might get hyped behind that. So that's going to be my pick.
You know what? They would do the old fashioned. They'd be like, "Oh, a couple of pizzerias or one together unit," and that is
one Banditland. Yeah,
Banditland, certainly a unit.
Definitely. Listen, I respect them. We spent a great Friday night in Banditland just about 11 days ago.
Nowhere else I would have rather spent my Friday night.
Seriously. They will be Bandits on the road in San Diego this weekend. But do we have any in the chat? I know the chat can get a little crazy. Do we got any upsets from there?
We're gonna clip this. We're gonna put it out, and folks, let us know who you think your biggest upset in the Buffalo bracket is. And if you pick a big upset, we might have to give a little prize out for someone that picks a
and we got to see
upset.
who thinks everyone picked the best upset for sure.
Let us know who's cooked and who's for real.
Like BB jingle.
Here's a little sneak peek of the schedule for the rest of the week.
So we're kicking off with Ted's. See, I love kicking off with an 8-9. It just feels like you're getting right in the grind.
Yeah, we try to follow the way real March Madness does it to a T, and
do not sleep on Rosie's Ice Cream against 11-Day Power Play. 11-Day Power Play, obviously a great cause, but Rosie's Ice Cream is playing for keeps.
Are they powerful on socials?
Let's see.
Because that's a hell of a force to go against.
Power Play is a force on social.
That's
for sure.
We got your underdog pick, Sponge Candy, and mine, Cup and Char, back to back tomorrow. So
see, I think another reason Abigail smokes Sponge Candy is because there's going to be some controversy of the origin of Sponge Candy.
And I know life is not all fair in Love and Buffalo bracket, but I got to feel for the Lady Lynx in Buffalo. They grind out that matchup, strong performance against Warrior, right into the to the action
against
right to the fire.
Against Water Buffalo Club, led by the fan of the year. I would consider that almost an upset, even playing. And then bang, gotta travel next day. Sabres Twitter.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah. But great slate of 2 days of getting these out. Deion Dawkins versus Seneca One Tower. I think we got to get an AI where we make Deion Dawkins Godzilla and he's like attacking Seneca One Tower.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Or like
I know people are I told you the
Kong wrapped around it.
Yeah. Deion Dawkins. People might be like,
they might think
2026. People will absolutely.
They might think you messed up.
It was a Godzilla Kong thing.
Cancel Slick for trying to make Deion Dawkins King Kong.
It was a Godzilla thing.
Honestly, Deion would like it, so don't be weird about it.
Yeah. At least we're stopping you from getting canceled
that was
in real
huge,
time.
actually. That was huge.
For sure. But hey, get in the action, get in the comments, get in the chat, and tell us who you think is going to be the Buffalo bracket upset on this forecast. Boys, I mean, I guess we should have saw this coming after they snuck by Dominican Republic, but Venezuela takes down Venezuela.
Venezuela.
Takes down the U.S. I mean,
Yeah, this is.
I want to say someone made this point, so I'm sniping a little bit. This was like the anti-aura tournament from USA. Like everything they did looked so silly. The coach didn't know when they were in or not. Like Aaron Judge didn't have a great performance. Like it was just there were lots of lapses.
Yeah. I'd say the Harper homer to tie it in the 8th was huge. That was oozing with aura, especially like with how crazy he went, pointing the flag, saluting around third base, classic bat flip. But yeah, I mean, if you're an Aaron Judge hater, you're looking on the bright side right now because this is your day, right? It's been all over where like
he said this was bigger than the World Series. Like this was his way of like being like, well, if I perform well in this stage, then I am a clutch player. Then I am like a guy you can depend on.
Already, if you remember at the start of this, people were harping on him for potentially giving the most Olympic speech, hype up speech ever. So I'm not saying that. That's what a lot of the people that like to see a good old speech in following the hype of the U.S. men's team, which they walk in wearing the U.S. men's team jerseys. Think they got to give them back now.
Yeah, you got yeah. That was tough. I mean, listen, I like the synchronicity of it all, but yeah, you got to deliver. I mean, America loves nothing more than clutch sports performances, and that was what we did not get yesterday.
Lucky for Aaron Judge, a week from today,
it all starts again.
Opening day versus the Giants on Netflix, too.
Oh, my God.
It seems like America's...
Wait, the NFL MVP is going to be decided March 25th on Netflix? March 25th.
Oh, yeah.
The
MVP will be.
I love it, bro.
Seems like for now, America's pastime is just that, a pastime.
Yeah, no, listen, I mean, there's... I don't want to sound crazy. They're like they started with the robo-umps in like AA and single A and everything. There's some things in single A, AA, and some smaller leagues now where they're like toying, moving around like second base, like moving second base like a little bit closer to like the infield to encourage stealing second, things like that. So I don't love that.
And rounding further too.
But they're absolutely like trying to retool the game of baseball to make it more appealing. I think making the pitch count was a good call. And I think it is going to be evened out by the robo-umps. Listen, if the game are 10 to 12 minutes longer, but we get the right call every time, that's absolutely worth it, like we saw in the U.S. Dominican Republic.
Yeah,
so
I have to say, too, if you're talking about this, this game might be a pastime, how do we get more involved? I saw kind of an account I follow, a gambling account, that is like shows he was at the game yesterday, and he said what kind of capture the spirit of this World Baseball Classic from a USA fan's perspective is there were Venezuela fans banging cowbells and drums and stuff. And he said a USA fan next to him put his hands up and says, "This is hurting my ears."
Oh, they got us. They got
it. There's no fight. There's no fight from the fans. They're just there to be casual, So you never, that's in the words of Dan Hurley. You're not there to watch a game.
Yeah,
you're there to be loud. So
I mean, their fans were relentless. So credit their fans.
Are very passionate. Yeah,
World Baseball Classic. It felt like more of a spectacle than ever this year.
It did.
Is that fair to say?
It did, despite the auraless USA team. I think every other fan base was very passionate, and the crowds were awesome. So I thought definitely a great showing for them this year. I'm sure the viewership numbers were awesome too, but obviously not the ending that the U.S. hoped for.
Speaking of play-in games, not the Buffalo bracket, but the big dance for this one. We had 2 yesterday, and we got 2 down to the buzzer. Can't really ask for more than that in the world of the hardwood, right, Slick?
Yeah, this is awesome. Don and I were watching some conference championships, so had my eye on this UMBC one. The Terriers from back in the day, the classic first ever 16 seed to upset a 1. Taking on Howard. It looked like they were never really in this game. Howard had a steady lead most of it. At one point, double digits, I want to say 14, but UMBC just stayed in it, fought back, clawed back, got some good foul calls. Howard missed some shots, missed some free throws down the stretch, and the Retrievers had a chance to win it, actually, at the buzzer. Or, I'm sorry, not win it, tie the game from half court, just a little short and wide on the right. Howard will go on to face number 1 seed Michigan in Buffalo. Pretty cool ode by the commentators, like the Howard Bison are going to go face Michigan in Buffalo. It was like the most dad joke thing I ever heard on commentary, but you know.
Yes. And then you were wondering why we got the 2 a.m. email.
Yeah.
Because they had to update the Howard information.
Right.
So they want to make sure all the media reps. So shout out to the media team in Buffalo for making sure. There's open practices going on right now. I believe South Florida is on the floor. Brian Hodgson, local guy, he'll be in action tomorrow in 26 or 25 hours. 26. They'll be in action. 25. Sorry. They'll be rocking and rolling in downtown Buffalo. So looking forward to that. It's like we're heading to those games. So they were fortunate to get media access. Thank you for the media access, NCAA. Thank you for making it happen. And we look forward to talking with fans from all kinds who traveled from Michigan and also maybe some locals who are taking in the action.
Yeah, you know, Buffalo is a sports town. You can argue whether it's hockey, football in general. We just love competitive sport. It's nice to have basketball around every 2 years. We're happy to have it back and some exciting matchups that I know Maniac and I are thrilled to be in the building for. So going to be a long day, but going to take in all of it and soak it all up.
In a tournament where it seems like upsets are going to be very few and far in between, I feel like we got a group ride South Florida tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
and I think
we go heavy lace on the 5.5, and then we sprinkled the money line.
Yeah, the discrepancy on those worries me, but I totally agree. The 5.5, we got a hammer.
Well, the discrepancy is that they think it's going to be close. The plus 175 indicates they don't want to give away that on a close game. And if we hit inside the plus 5.5, then we're free rolling on the money line.
Of course.
Okay, I like that.
Just squad ride. Let's go.
We will be squad riding on South Florida tomorrow. And hopefully, if we hit, we can afford Bill's Mafia house too. $810,000 on the selling price. So shout out to that. I've never seen a house so publicized on the sale of everything. Like that wasn't over $1 million, with all due respect.
And that didn't belong to like...
Yeah, it didn't belong to like a celebrity, but it is, the house is a celebrity itself.
If I remember when we talked about this, it was listed at what, 690?
I think,
right?
Yeah, I think Maniac and I both were at like a low of 750 and a high of like 1.2. So this is obviously closer to our lowest guess, but Bill's Mafia is still in Bill's Mafia hands, it would seem, and sticking around in OP.
I'm interested in how the infrastructure of this place looks inside.
People, I mean,
like how much of it was the location versus...
This is just alleged. They say the people inside post pictures that it looks like crazy in there.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Is not in a good way.
Like, what percentage of the sale was the location? Like
97%.
As someone who is just...
Dude, you think if you take that house, take that house and put it in our neighborhood? Like what's it sound for? Like,
hey, if you own the property, you could tear it down and build something new and sick. Not that you should. I don't want to do that to history, but I'm just saying I didn't buy it, so I don't get to say.
As someone that has merely had a beer outside the Bill's Mafia house...
Beers.
Yeah,
beerly.
I would love to know what it looks like inside. Do people even go inside like during the tailgate?
Not during the tailgate, no. I mean, that's because the family lives there, or there's someone Airbnb renting it out. It's like a property.
It's a spectacle.
It is a spectacle for sure.
Enigma.
We need answers.
We do need answers.
I thought maybe they'd like open up their bathroom to tailgaters or something. I don't know. Shit.
Yeah. So a lot going on there. Speaking of a lot going on, I don't know if we have the clip. I don't know if you guys even have the details. This Afro Man trial.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
He made a song about not being arrested by a police officer, and then also made a song about having sex with like a law enforcement official's like wife. And then they had to play it as a testimony, like in the thing, and the person was like crying, if we
sounds
can pull
about right.
I mean, Afro Man. Like, I mean, that was,
wasn't me.
Pull out the seed and stems, like, come on now. Like, that was, like, insane.
I mean, he's always been if you listen to any other songs he had, which I've unfortunately done, like the song Kentucky. I was looking for a song named Kentucky to roll through. I'm like, Afro Man, never listened to this. Let me hear this. There's that. And then there's obviously the incident. If you remember, he was taking the guitar solo at a festival a couple years ago. Girls dancing up behind him, and he just socks her in the face.
Oh, I do remember that. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah,
no, you can't be doing that. He shouldn't have done that.
Absolutely.
Bad guy. That makes you think Afro Man might be a bad guy.
Might be terrible.
Yeah, well, He might
might
at
have
least
slept
go a
with his
little
cop's
far.
wife.
Let's
might have
see
done
what
all
this
this.
is. Okay, let's.
But the outfit
Do we
in
wanna-
court was obscene.
So you're claiming that is the defamation statement is that he said he had sex with your wife,
Yes.
and that's painted you in a false light.
It's caused tremendous pain in my life.
I'll get to that. We have to go through false light first. So does it paint you in a false light?
Yes, that my wife is cheating on me with Mr. Foreman.
But we all know that's not true, correct?
Yeah, the suit's
I
nuts.
don't know.
We all know.
Did that guy just say, I don't know?
Yeah.
Wait, you don't know if your wife's cheating on you or not?
Oh,
Oh,
should
You
have.
want to go there?
No, I just want to ask that
my-
question because you said we don't know. I just
Been with
need
that
the answer.
woman since middle school.
I know.
I would hope she wouldn't. But you know what? Once somebody puts it out there for their fun and entertainment, it's out there.
Oh, okay, so he might
That's
be
a
laying
problem.
into that
So
because
it's
he wants to
something
get
we can't
after
verify the truth of?
He actually thinks his wife's cheating on him.
Okay, so that's
All right.
them.
The
Messaging.
outfit, the demeanor, the overall,
outfit.
ridiculous.
I want to play this song, but if this is like released on Spotify and
Yes.
stuff,
Yeah,
I don't
no,
want.
yeah,
so we'll
yeah.
just mute it. You can check it out.
I believe
He's-
the woman starts crying when she hears the song.
Yeah, so look, I mean, this thread is nuts. Like you click on that one, it goes to the music video. You click on this, it's to him talking about being sued. I do like that he's wearing the same suit that he
The
did
suit
in the
is
music.
ridiculous.
It's the same one as the music video that
oh
he did it
my
in,
God.
which is just like giving such a big like F you to
ridiculous.
the whole case.
He's representing himself in court, which is always
Is
like
he?
a
Oh my
crazy
God! Yeah.
thing.
Well, that's a spectacle in itself when you have someone like in
Yeah,
a
well-
prominent position that
Yeah.
chooses to represent themselves.
Well, you know,
some shit's about to
the
happen.
old saying: a lawyer who represents himself has a fool as a client.
There you go. There you go.
Never heard that one, but it sums it right up.
I get it.
Yep.
I think.
I hope so.
Yeah. So with that said, Afterman, tough look in court for sure. With that said, he might have to pay out a suit. I don't know what's going to happen out of that, allegedly. But it's time for Buy or Sell, sponsored by our friends at Victory Smoke. Premium cannabis pre-rolls for everyday wins coming soon to local dispensaries. Taste victory. Boys, all right, so we're getting into the big dance of it all. So I will give you a prompt and you buy it happening or sell it not happening. Ready to roll?
Yes, sir.
Okay. There
Let's
will be
roll.
multiple 12 over 5 seed upsets in round 1.
I'm gonna sell. I usually love this seeding upset spot. I went through the bracket yesterday. I think I'm only sold so far on 112 beating a 5, and I think it might even be High Point, Don,
Ooh,
since you put me
riding
on
with
to
me,
that.
baby.
So I'm gonna sell multiple 12 seeds, getting it done.
I'm gonna buy, and I'll tell you exactly who they are. High Point, like I said, and McNeese.
Oh man, you're riding the
I'm
oil
riding,
train.
riding with our boy after watching the interview between Maniac and him. I had to ride.
I like that one. Will Gonzaga make a ride with 3 wins to the Elite 8? That's my horse. I am going to buy Gonzaga making the Elite 8. I think they just have that pedigree to make it that far in the tournament. Slick, what do you got?
I'm gonna sell.
Oh,
I
no.
have them, I think, potentially taking the L to UCLA
Oh, geez.
as a 7 seed in the round of 32. The Gonzaga strength of conference obviously is never up to par with the rest of most of these
hold on a
conferences.
second. I don't think they play UCLA. They're not in their.
Oh, wait, is it
region.
BYU?
BYU is number 6.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Just want to
But that-
fact check.
yep,
Didn't
no,
want my
thank you.
guy getting roasted on the clips.
There's a lot of teams in this
comments later.
bracket.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep track.
Yeah.
I'm going to sell UConn getting to the Elite 8. It's either a 32 or a 16 exit for me. They're just not the same team they have been in years past. Strength of schedule doesn't help.
You know what? I'm going to buy that. I'm going to ride with my boy because I could see Texas actually giving BYU some trouble. Think they get past them. And then, I don't know, Purdue hasn't – they didn't seem like themselves all year, and then they kind of turned it on, the conference championship, which is good, what good teams do. But I like them making it. Side note, I'm looking at this region. We have number 7 Miami. We're going to get Michael Irvin with more belt antics, or is that football only?
Oh no, he doesn't.
No,
it's
no, no, no,
anything.
no, no,
If he
no,
can
no.
put a belt to an A, he's gonna put a B to an ass for sure.
All right.
Michael Irvin. Speaking of BTA, are the 1 seeds going to do that to the field? Historically heavy favorites in the first round. I think that yes, they will at least get 2 number 1 seeds to the Final Four. I'm buying over 1.5 seeds in the Final Four. What do you got, Slick?
Yeah, I'm buying as well. The number 1 seeds have been really well taught all year. And I think you're going to at least see Michigan there probably, maybe Arizona. I could be wrong on those. Could be the other 2, but who knows? I think we're going to have at least 2. Don, what you got?
Yeah, I'm buying that. Arizona looks like just a lock. And like we said when we started looking at this bracket, it just seems like a pretty chalky year, other than maybe a couple upsets here and there in the first round specifically. But yeah, I like Arizona, and then kind of could be a toss up between Michigan or Duke. I'm counting out Florida though. I don't
Really?
Yeah, I don't think they're making it out alive of this. That helps your Houston.
Yeah, it does. Florida scares me. That's why. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Inconsistent all year, but do we think that UConn as a 2 seed is going to find their way to where they should, barring an upset, into the Elite 8? I am selling. I do not think that UConn and Dan Hurley are going to be able to flip the switch this year. Why don't we go reverse order? Don, what do you got?
I'm selling. And I might be voting with my heart instead of my head, but yeah, I'm kind of tired of UConn and Dan Hurley. I'm selling that. I don't think they are the same this year, and they always do turn it on when it comes to the bracket.
They do. They flip the switch.
But I'm selling that.
Okay, so I see where my discrepancy was here with the UCLA BYU of it all, because I'm selling because I have UConn losing to UCLA in the round of 32 as a 7 seed. So UConn will not make the Elite 8. This is kind of another thing too, like you guys just said, not the same team. Just got throttled by St. John's, who I think is a 5. And listen, they had their run for the past few years. Time is up.
Agreed. Time is up for UConn. Next one, over a 7.5 seed to make the Sweet 16. I'll say yes. I think that some 12 is going to find their way past a 5, and they won't be playing a 1 or anything. I think some double-digit seed is actually going to make the Sweet 16. I will buy that. It's like, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to buy you can get something nice there between the 9 and the 12, or even a 13, as we've seen in years past. This is looking like a chalky bracket this year, but I think at least one, probably a safe bet above 7.5. So I'm going to buy.
I'm going to buy as well. And I said I kind of like St. Louis this year as a dark horse. If they can win and somehow upset Michigan, I think they're a lock to even go to the Final Four maybe, because that's kind of their juggernaut in here. But High Point, I like to make some noise. Cal Baptist, I like, because I think my Kansas is cursed. And
I mean, if Cal Baptist makes noise, your Kansas is definitely cursed.
Yeah. So I'm buying that, and I'm buying that.
I think that we'll at least get 4 to 6, 8 or higher seeds onto the second round, and then we only need one of those to win out. That's my thinking there. Last one, under 13.5 being the highest upset seed. So you're meaning, like, will it be 14, 15, or 16 to pull an upset? I am selling. I do not think a 14, 15, or 16 are going to pull an upset this year.
Well, it's more saying, do you buy that it's going to be under 13.5 for the seed?
What?
Like it's going to be 13
so
or
explain
less.
What you're asking.
Do you think the highest seed that gets an upset is less than 13.5?
Oh, okay. Well, that was weird.
It's the same way. Just
it's the same way, just with a different word.
Oh, wow. Let it all out. Let it all out. Okay. Under 13.5 highest upset seed. Buy or sell?
I'm going to buy because I think it's going to be a 13. I didn't say a word. I think it's going to be a 13, and it's going to be what I said, Troy over Nebraska. That's a matchup I've been looking at all week.
Yeah, I'm saying under. I'm sticking to my guns that this is going to be a chalky, for the most part, bracket this year. So am I buying that?
Yes,
Again,
you're buying if you think that a 14, 15,
I'm
16 are going to win.
Yeah. As we wrap up this segment, let's check in. Instagram, comment real quick. Let's get this up. Top Shelf 716. Woo! The boys are back. Love it. I mean, I love the energy in the chat today. Love the energy in the chat.
We never left.
We love it, guys. Thanks for hopping in.
Yeah, and let's hop in to the Trainwreck Sports Crash Outline, sponsored by William Matar Law Offices. Don, with a late night victory for the Sabres, with action for the NCAA coming into Buffalo. Maybe we'll get some crashing about the parking prices. I don't know if that's going to be happening, but anything on the line for today?
No, not really. We just said we posted on Twitter. Hey, we're trying to hear from everybody. Maybe some people don't want to call or text. I checked the line about a few minutes ago. Let me check one last time.
In all fairness, Sarah Sivian kept her historical crash out going against me.
Yeah.
Quoted me twice, so.
Yeah.
Can't respond.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's crashing out.
Turns them off.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that, your
responses turned off is sketchy. I get it. There's a lot of weird people on the internet. Maybe you don't want to interact with them, but I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, she's one of them. So,
all right.
Wait, hold on. We got this. You're giving me sidetracked. We did get a comment from Rock.
Okay, what do we got?
It's not really a crash out. It's kind of a fair, balanced take in regards to Miami. I like what Miami is doing. It's broke, so just start over. But as Buffalo fans, we know it's not an easy path.
Definitely not an easy path.
So
Miami fans must be crashing out right now. I mean, you talk about decimation. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Tua, all gone.
Yeah. Malik Willis.
Yeah, imagine telling that 2-3 years when we saw him in the playoffs.
Oh yeah,
everyone's going to be gutted from the team. Head coach gone, GM gone. Yeah, they've really disassembled everything.
Yeah, 3 years time was not very long at all since that playoff matchup for sure. But yes, folks, don't forget, if you want to crash out about anything, if you want to crash out about your day-to-day activities, sports, anything going on, 716-226-6263. Don't crash out online. Crash out on our line. Obviously, Slick and myself looking amazing in the him hoodies. Make sure you check out the Trainwreck Sports merch store for yours so you can root on him down the stretch run of the season. Any final shout-outs, boys, before we sign off here today?
I'd like to once again shout out the NCAA for our media credentials this weekend. Looking forward to basketball's return to Buffalo.
Yeah, shout out everyone that's voted in the Buffalo bracket. We got a huge day tomorrow. Huge slate of games, huge slate of games as well. So when you're on your phone, maybe you're placing some responsible wagers. Make sure you're voting on all platforms: Instagram, Twitter, /X, Facebook, and shout out Sports City, because I'm going to be there. You guys are credentialed. You're going to be there. I'm going to be launching vote after vote after vote from Sports City, hanging out. I joked I might put a tent out in the backyard. And then,
you know what I'm talking about.
What?
Nope.
No, I didn't see. I just saw this.
Yeah, that's what you got.
What is it?
Yeah, that's all it is.
Bink, bink, bink,
Exactly.
Yep, we're gonna be doing that, and then maybe some late night action.
It's not looking like it.
It's not looking like it. Okay,
just because of some production needs, but we are definitely going to make sure that happens as well in the coming weeks. A lot to be excited about. We've got the opening of NCAA action tomorrow. We've got Sabres. We've got Banditos this weekend in San Diego. There's a lot coming up. So thanks for strapping in with us, following along. Trainwreck Sports, Heard of Buffalo. Any final words, boys?
No, man.
Let's go have a great second half of our week, and let's start with a good day now.